live. What's going on? What's going on? YouTube live. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I think my laptop's in the way of YouTube. There it is. Boom. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, fellow Bitcoiners. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. For those who either took profits, traded, sold, researched, watched the was it block stream or scaling conference over at Stanford. I caught some of that. We put it on our Facebook as well. It was pretty good. A lot of technical stuff, of course. They stayed out of the drama with Segwit, but it was still a good conference to look at. It was right here in California as well. So I need to go to the next one because I didn't know that one was going to be as in-depth as it was. It was a really good conference, though. And that is still up on YouTube. So I think you can click on our link and still see it. Bitcoin Bay, what's up? Crypto Q in the house, what's going on? You said the student? What's the student? What's that? But yeah, welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 40. I can't believe we've done 40 of these already, but we have. Tonio, what's going on? Where we bridge crypto in the community. What's going on, Ariel? Of course, Bitcoin Zay is still MIA somewhere on the East Coast. I don't know. He's in DC, North Carolina, frolicking about while I'm putting down all his work. So I'm going to make sure he gets that back when he gets back. What's going on, Obi? And of course, I'm King here with you today. So let's get straight to it. Bitcoin news. Student of crypto, student. Oh, for sure. Hey, we all are, aren't we? We all are. For the free Bitcoin last time. So we still owe Champ Chamberlain of Bitcoin. Haven't forgot about you. We were running around this weekend. As you can see, my printer's gone because I'm about to move. Moving on up, people. Moving on up out here, all right? We're leaving Hollywood. Moving on up. Going somewhere else in the area. So I'm in the middle of a move. But, so Champ will send that to you later on today. And then today's winner from last week was Mimi. I asked everyone to kind of give me the closest you can get to where you think the price would be ending this week. As we've seen every week, we've seen these all-time highs. The price I was thinking about personally is about 8,000. Somebody actually did say 7,800. Hey, what's going on, Terrence? Appreciate it. Somebody actually did say 7,800, but they didn't tell us why. Of course, we tell you, got to give us an explanation. You just can't say one word. So the winner was Mimi Murderface. That is a very nice name, interesting name. But she said the price of Bitcoin might go to upwards of 8,500. I don't think we're going to go that high, but she said upwards. So I think it might hit that 8K range. She said with the trend and confidence through the CME Futures announcement and continuing awareness and education of the general public about crypto, she said the buzz around it hitting 7K this week also helps. It did help. She said she's seeing what happens, though, with the Segwit split later this month. Of course, we are all waiting to see what happens with the Segwit. We're feeling very confident that Bitcoin will continue to reign supreme, but we'll see. But thanks for that comment. We'll make sure we send you that Bitcoin as well with Champ later on today. All right, Bitcoin news. As we all have seen, the Middle East are becoming very friendly toward Bitcoin. Place I know very well was deployed out in the area for back in 2014, 2015. So, got a chance to go to Dubai a few times, Bahrain, all these places we're starting to see in the news. Got a chance to actually go there and work with some of the ambassadors to the U.S. that's out there. There's still all types of, met the royal family, some of the places. So very in-depth knowledge about the area. So I'm not going to go too in-depth about it in general because just some other stuff can get me in some trouble. So I'm not going to go too in-depth, but I'm very aware of what's going on in the area. But starting with Saudi Arabia, of course, I'm sure we all heard about, the king that had the corruption crackdowns, who was arresting everybody. One of the people he arrested was Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal. He's one of the wealthiest people in the Arab nations in the Middle East. He's one of the wealthiest Arabs there. He was also the person who said Bitcoin is Enron in the making. Can you believe that? I mean, come on. All of that money, you're going to downplay Bitcoin. Well, he said Bitcoin's Enron in the making. And a commenter on actually one of these articles made a great point. He was like, all these people are saying what Bitcoin is in a negative way. Like he said, it's Enron in the making. He's like, well, Enron was a company that operated under the financial regulations of the United States government and was still able to commit crimes. Just like today with some of these banks that we see getting fined billions of dollars. They are all highly regulated, which is why we don't think Bitcoin and crypto needs all these regulations, because they're already overregulated stuff and there's still crime and still criminals happening. But I'll tell you what, maybe not in America, but in Saudi Arabia, when you compare Bitcoin to Enron, you get arrested almost immediately, people, okay? And that's what just happened. Now, what's going on, Derek? Happy Monday. He wasn't arrested for that. He was arrested because of possible corruption charges, they said. Even though some people think it's a ploy for the king to have his son take over as the crown prince to one day take over the ruling, kingdom, or whatever. But what's more important, again, is that he said Bitcoin is like Enron, and he got arrested. So I don't think anybody else is going to be comparing Bitcoin to Enron in the Middle East. That's all I'm saying. But continuing the Middle East, the Iranian government, he said, talk about Bitcoin, go to jail. I know, right? Talk about Bitcoin. We lock people up for that. I made a call. I was like, hey, I thought we were cool over there. Let's get them out of here, all right? But seriously, what else is going on in the Middle East? Iran. Now, they're talking about not only do they want to Bitcoinize their entire country, but they actually have a plan to implement the infrastructure for Bitcoin throughout the country. Now, for those who don't know, Iran, there's a couple, I'm trying to think some other places. I don't want to misspeak some of the places right now because I haven't been keeping up. But Iran is one of the places that are on our, that travel ban list and all that President Trump put out there. Also, we sanctioned them. We sanctioned them a lot. Donald Trump wasn't happy with the deal the Obama administration made with them as far as their nuclear weapon program. To get even more in depth, I don't know if some of you remember about a year, I think it was last year. Did it happen last year when I was out there? It was like a year or two ago. But some of our sailors in the Navy were captured off the coast of Iran once their engine stalled or something. The Iranians came up, boarded them, took them down. It was like a big international thing. We had American sailors, and this just happened like a year ago. That almost jacked up the nuclear deal, which is why we had to actually give them a better deal. We had, I forgot who it was that was working for us. I think it was Kerry. I can't remember. Somebody flew out there, though, to kind of, shake hands, make peace, get our troops home. And during that time, we had to sweeten the deal for them. President Trump isn't happy with the deal. He put sanctions on them. So for Iran to skirt around those sanctions, they have been looking for ways to make money, same as North Korea, or to at least send and receive more money and supplies. And the way that they did that they're saying the way they're going to do that is through Bitcoin. You see, I've sailed there before. TSV experiment, no soldiers captured. It's a high speed. Just looking at it now, Iran, they're looking at a way to get away from being sanctioned is to Bitcoinize their country. And they're literally looking to implement it throughout the country. So, of course, that is good news for Bitcoin. On a political, spectrum, I'm not going to say what that is for that. But just as far as everybody who's in trading, holding, doing all that, that's great news. We're talking about another country, actually a major country in the Middle East, bringing on Bitcoin throughout its, its structure internally. So that's crazy. Derek asked me what happened to Bitcoin Go. Who knows? I think they got like a DDoS attack as soon as they release. What happened to Bitcoin Go is what everybody expect to happen. Nothing. I mean, nobody's going to buy it. Nobody's going to invest in it. And the price right now, I feel like, is being propped up by their own institutional investors. The same thing I think we'll see with Segwit as well. But I'll talk about a little bit more of that toward the end. What else do we have going besides this Middle East stuff? All right, I can't pronounce this. I'm bad with pronunciations. But it says there was the Deutsche Bank lead strategist Jim Reed claimed that the current fiat-based currency system, the American dollar, the euro, all those paper dollars, he is saying that is unstable. What? We've been saying that too, Jim. And he's saying it's near its end. Oh, wow. He claimed that the system was only able to advance to its current state due to the disinflationary, I can't say that word right now. I can't say the word. Disinflationary shock experience in the 80s. Basically, he says the death of the dollar is coming, something that we've heard from a lot of people. The CEO of Goldman Sachs just came out last week and said something that kind of mimicked that. He was like, crypto is the new future. It's going to be here for a while. So everybody's starting to call it. Dollars, currencies, USD, euros, paper is almost gone. We're starting to see countries becoming Bitcoinized, as they're saying it. We're already seeing what's happening in Zimbabwe, where last week they were trading Bitcoin for $12K. Now we're talking about Iran bringing it on fully. There's a couple other countries. I know Venezuela was going through it as well. They're trying to fight Bitcoiners down there, but Bitcoiners are winning the battle. So we're starting to see it more and more and more. And now you have someone that actually comes out, a banker of all people, and we all know the irony of that, but a banker's coming out saying that the current fiat system is over. And the thing was also, people were talking about the CEO, Lloyd Blankstein, last week. There's a lot of people commenting on the article. I saw some of the funniest comments. People weren't really giving him props. They were just like, he's more of a slicker reptile than the rest of the bankers. Like, he's smart enough to know to cash the chips in. But a funny comment I saw was that somebody was saying that almost every main banker knows that the fiat system is going down, and when it happens, they don't want to be the one holding the dollar. And I get it. These bankers aren't stupid, and if our currency, if our monetary system is in trouble, which we all think it is, which is why people are flooding the crypto, then no one wants to be holding a bag of money when the music stops, people. There's not one banker out there that wants to have billions or trillions of their dollars in fiat currency when the music stops. So expect more bankers to continue on this path that we're starting to see. Now, first it was no bankers. At first, Bitcoin wasn't even real. Crypto wasn't real, whatever. Then it was, well, it's real, but it's a fraud and doesn't work. And now they're actually saying, well, we're to the point now, bankers coming out saying it is the end of fiat currency. It's over. So it's something we've said before. The world has already been getting away from using fiat currency, like I said, dollars, euros. The world's getting away from that. We've been using debit cards, credit cards, online payments. Apple Pay stole Bitcoin's ideal and stuff. But we've been getting away from just straight cash. People, is going away. No one wants it. You can't use it the same way you can digital currency, especially with all these cities building smart cities. All these nations building smart cities. So I expect to see even more bankers come out with the same rhetoric, finally coming out saying maybe fiat isn't where it's at right now. When are Bitcoin Zay and I doing videos again? Whenever Bitcoin Zay get back to the West Coast, we will do a video again. I think he may come back next week. So that's the game plan. How many countries have actually decided to use Bitcoin for their future currency? I don't have a hard count on it yet, Ariel. I'm not sure. Because the only reason why I haven't seen many countries come out in full support of it. Countries have been split. Sometimes you have the government who's saying okay, then you have the bankers who aren't cool with it. Maybe you have a country where the bankers are trying to work with the government, or maybe you have the people. So I haven't seen a full country really come out on each one. Crypto Jack, what's going on? You said you should talk about Bitcoin. Yeah, we talked about Bitcoin a couple times for a second. I really don't care. It's not a hot topic to me. My thing with Bitcoin in general, all right, it does read like a Ponzi, people. Like it's everything about it does say like scheme behind it. Like you don't even know who runs it. You haven't seen the bot, none of that. However, I'm not coming out saying it's a Ponzi because I don't know for a fact. However, what I know, and I actually tweeted this the other day. I made a joke. I was like, for all those who are like believing in BitConnect or whatever, you never taken a business meeting inside of a fast food restaurant. What I mean by that is, like in high school and college and stuff, there's always somebody coming with we're going to have you sell this, do this. But they always meet you in the fast food restaurant. It's like, and if somebody wants to do a business meeting with me in a fast food restaurant, I'm already like, all right, dog, what are you going to try to sell me? How are you going to try to take my money? But BitConnect for me in general is just that I get it. Let's say it does work and it's real and all that. Like we trade. There's no reason for me to send my Bitcoin out unless I'm spending it on something. So for me personally, the whole thing with BitConnect is if you're a trader, there's no point in even doing it. Like if you're not a good enough trader, then maybe you need to work on that or research that or follow more people who are. But as far as a scam, I don't know for a fact, but everything about it to me reads like a scam. Like from top to bottom, like this is how, or pyramid schemes, multi-level market, this is how they work from top to bottom. Like, if it was that good, you wouldn't need referrals. You wouldn't need to tell people if it's that good. If it works, people are going to find the money. So if it works, you wouldn't need to do all that. But I don't know. We'll see. We shall see one day for sure. I'll tell you that. But I won't be losing or making any money with it. So I'll leave it there. Talking about the Bitcoinization of countries, Argentina's biggest future market to add Bitcoin. And this is, people, something I've said I think it started last week or the week before. It's the blockchain stimulus package. That's all you got to do. You say, listen, you say Bitcoin, blockchain, something, So Argentina, after seeing what CME did as far as talking about, bringing futures to the Bitcoin market, they decided their biggest futures market decided, well, hey, we want some of that money in that stock market to go up as well. So they went ahead and pushed it out there, and they're planning to do it. However, here's the interesting thing. The more I start looking at some of this future stuff with Bitcoin and crypto, I'm not sure how a true futures market is going to work in the crypto space. I mean, you talk about speculation. No one owns the Bitcoin. So I'm not sure how they're going to really, I don't know how it's going to work. I mean, because technically no one in that market, as far as not the people behind CME or the Argentina futures one, but as far as customers and clients, like, they're not going to technically own any Bitcoin. So, and you can't guarantee them Bitcoin because it's like, regardless of what the futures market says, it's about what the actual market does. So I'm curious to see how these futures markets are going to work in general. I don't know. It's kind of scammy when you look at it. You're talking about some scammy. But we shall see. What else we have? Oh, man. Dinosaur of the day, people. So for everybody, I remember we gave away free Bitcoin last week or the week before. Everyone was asking about, we asked who would be the next dinosaur of the day. Everybody had their picks. We had one come out from left field today. The chief economist for financial services giant UBS came out against Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in a big way on Twitter last week. In a series of tweets, he said UBS global chief economist Paul Donovan compared Bitcoin to the Netherlands 1637 tulip crisis. All right, for one, dinosaur Donovan, don't nobody in Bitcoin even know what happened with Netherlands 1637 tulip crisis. I'm assuming you're just talking about the tulip crisis everybody's been talking about. But you talking about a dinosaur. This dude literally referenced something that has a computer algorithm to it, something that has actual mathematical equations behind it, that uses actual energy. We talk about how it uses so much gallons of gas a day to make a Bitcoin. We talking about all this technology, and it reminds him of a 1637 tulip crisis. Paul Donovan, you are the dinosaur of the day, just for even talking about something from the 1600s. But again, for downplaying Bitcoin, we're definitely going to give that to you. I need to have like a little sound for that, a stegosaurus sound or something. But Donovan, and here's the interesting part again. You know how these people do. While he opposes cryptocurrencies, he did say that he was a big fan of the blockchain, as they all are. On Twitter, another tweet, he said he thinks UBS will be a blockchain platform which will continue to grow. So not only is he a big fan of blockchain, but he wants UBS to adopt the blockchain tech, of course, without the Bitcoin part of it though. So we've seen this before with a lot of the bankers distancing themselves from the Bitcoin, from one of the main things that even made them aware of the blockchain technology in general, if you really want to think about it. But another dinosaur there. You said, hold on. What's a good hardware wallet to start off with? I like Trezors. Trezors are pretty good. Yeah. 2x a core. Core, of course. I'll talk about that in a second at the end too. But yeah, we're a fan. I'm a fan of Trezor. I like Trezor wallets. They actually came out with a brand new one too, so should be updated. Vatican BTC crypto used for human trafficking. I mean, listen. They say Crypto Jack, you put it right on the mark. We keep saying it, and this is it, people. This is the next big one. I kept telling people it's going to be another big push against Bitcoin to try to take it down. Well, right now you have SegWit, you have all this stuff, but come on. These bankers and politicians have friends. They have to make that call to the Vatican. They're like, hey, that problem, we know you guys been doing the human trafficking with American dollars and euros, but can you just make a statement that people are starting to use Bitcoin now? And here you have it. Now Bitcoin's being used for human trafficking. We've made it that far, but first it was drugs, then it was guns, but now it is for human trafficking. Wow. I wasn't even going to talk about that, honestly. I'm glad you brought up CryptoQ. But, I mean, come on. Once again, people, first of all, the basis is, let's say we don't have Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency. What would be used for human trafficking? It's what's been used the last 100 years, and that is fiat currency. So that's what the title should read. Secondly, this shows you how out of touch these people are, because I highly doubt Bitcoin is used for it, because for one, human trafficking is a sophisticated, it's a sophisticated process. That's like real organized crime right there, people. Especially you're talking about the Vatican saying something about it. These aren't like some dudes on the corner trafficking people. This is organized crime. Now, people in organized crime aren't stupid. And because they're not stupid, they're not going to use Bitcoin anymore, which is now known to be pseudo-anonymous. They have been using Monero. They've been using Zcash. Maybe Verge. They just came out with their new Wraith today. I hope you already bought into it because that price should be rising about now. But my point is the real criminals aren't using Bitcoin. Yeah, Monero, excuse me. Of course, I forgot one of the main ones. But they're not using Bitcoin for it. So when I even see articles like that where it says, Bitcoin is being used for human trafficking, I know they're lying or they're not being all upfront because the actual criminals who do human trafficking aren't using Bitcoin, people. That is like the last thing they're using. You can be caught with Bitcoin now. It's been proven. It's tough, but you can be caught. So again, they're trying to spread that FUD. And some people read the article and it's working. Like I said, I looked at it and kept it pushing because, I don't believe it. You see the Vatican, come on. The Vatican. I want to know how many boys have been molested going through there before I know about human trafficking. I mean, what's the crypto being used to traffic the humans to who? Because every story I see come out of the Vatican has a different tone to it, and it's not that. So, did I order the new Trezor T? I didn't because my Trezor is working great, but I probably will order it though. Need another one, so definitely will. Bitcoin arm is too short to box. It's too funny. But yeah, people Verge. Yeah, Verge. I don't know if it was going to go to the moon, but it definitely, I think it had like a good little 18% jump this morning. And like I said, that Wraith was supposed to be come out already, so that was good. Another jump for the traders out there, another jump. You might have saw the pot coin, hemp coin, dope coin. So a couple things. They were pumped. The news as well helped it, but they were definitely pumped. And the way they were pumped, I almost think it might have been somebody that works for some of those companies. Honestly, like timing was impeccable. But for people who just started trading, don't know, one thing you want to know about all the marijuana and the cannabis coins. So you talk about pot coin, hemp coin, dope coin, main thread as name. Usually when one of those coins jump on the exchange, the other ones will follow. So if you ever see one of the marijuana or the weed coins, whatever you call it, if you ever see one of them have a crazy spike, just start buying a little bit of the rest because they're going to follow. It's just the way, the trading trend works with those. But in a new proposal to British Columbia, government officials, IBM has recommended considering using blockchain as a means to ensuring consumer safety and reliable regulatory oversight from seed to sale in the country's nascent cannabis industry. So IBM basically told Canadian officials to use the blockchain to pump, to figure out their weed industry. And because of that, we saw some of the weed coins jump. And of course, on Twitter, Hemp Coin came out with a picture with Wiz Khalifa next to it saying they have big things coming soon. So again, two big news stories coming out for the marijuana community today. And that's being reflected in the prices, the pricing on that. And Popcoin was pumped, people. That thing went up, I think I saw about, 600% or something. I think it was 240% for a minute. But I saw it jump on one exchange almost 600 to 700%. Granted, it was a quick, no, it was way more than 70%. Way more than 70. Yeah, it was way more. I can look it up right now. Tell you the day's price for starter. To where it went. It jumped to something crazy. But once again, if you see a jump like that, people, it's usually too late. Yeah, it's back down to 70. Its 24-hour low was 1,299 Satoshi. Its 24-hour high was 9,808 Satoshi. People, that means it went from 9 cents to 71 cents. It says it's 69. I saw that 71. It went from 9 cents to 71 cents today in a span of literally 7 to 8 minutes, which is a pump and dump straight up. But yeah, for the people who caught it or was already sold in, once again, a trading tip. That's why you have to have your sell orders and your sell orders low and your buy orders already set. So let's say if you're in Popcoin already, you do 30. People break it up different. We usually do 30%, 30%, 30%. And for 10%, I'll have that 10 times jump up there ready to sell just in case, because you never know when that coin is going to be pumped, like today when it was pumped and it went up, like I said, almost 700%. So huge jump, people, huge jump. I hope you all made some money off of it. Have we looked into Power Ledger? Yes, we have looked into Power Ledger. We're still doing research right now, though. Yeah. Yeah, so when you see the percentages right now on the coin, so right now I think it does have Potcoin like 60-something%. That's like its overall, where is that overall for 24-hour average? So even though it did go 700% for 10 minutes, that's not where the average is at. So that's kind of the reason why it's like that. And then Segwit 2X. So somebody did ask about that. I'll end it on that. Segwit 2X, we're definitely with Core. We don't, looking at how 2X is doing it. For one, when you talk about for those who follow Whalepen on Twitter, he just had a great write-up on Medium that kind of breaks down what his last thoughts on it. One of the things he didn't say, but somebody else said, but he kind of hit on, is increasing block sizes, or technically not even increasing the size right now. You're increasing the block weight, and that's a temporary fix. At the end of the day, it's temporary, because what's going to happen, even if you put it up to 2 megs or 8, whatever you increase the block weight to, we're still going to have people, we're still onboarding people into the crypto space. We're going to have to do it again. We're going to have to do it again. We're going to have to do it again. So every year it'll be this thing where are we going to increase the weight again? Are we going to increase the weight again? And eventually that's going to cause things to break. So the way I understand it is that the core developers right now are trying to figure out what's going on with the coding, what's going on with the algorithm. They want to know how to make it more efficient than what it already is. And then of course the side chains, you talk about Lightning Network and all that stuff, utilizing those. But I don't think the solution right now is just to keep building bigger, heavier blocks right now, because it doesn't make sense. It'll be a great short-term fix, but not a long-term. And then secondly is the way it was done. And I have the list too. I'll make sure I'll put it on our Facebook or whatever. But it has it's a Segwit 2X New York agreement status, and it has every major Bitcoin and cryptocurrency on there, company that either went with it, withdrew it, supported it, or went to Bitcoin Cash. And again, this was from Whalepen. He posted this up as well. And the point behind him posting it and other people posting it is so that you can look at every company on here, or every person, every company on here, and you know who not to do business with in the future. Because I'm telling you, people, what's going to happen with a lot of these people who are doing these dirty, underhanded tactics right now, they're literally going to make their money, or they might lose out, and then they're going to sit on the sideline for the next year and a half, 2 years. They're going to come back with another bright idea, with an even better marketing plan, and a better understanding of the space, and a better understanding of how to take you out of your Bitcoin, all right? And when it happens next time, you need to remember who these companies are. You need to remember who these people are, so you don't do business with them. So there's a list for that that's out right now. I will, actually here, I might be able to put it in the comment section, because I have the comments up. Yep, I'll put it in the comment section. You all can check out that list. But keep these people in mind, because I'm telling you, in another couple years. And speaking of which, Tapscott, there was an article on Tapscott that just came out. I didn't even read, I only glanced at the article, but I already know what's going on with Tapscott. For those who don't know, he had a ICO not too long ago. This is the son of the other Tapscott, the senior Tapscott, I forgot. So his son came out, tried to do an ICO. He listed people like Benny Lingram and some other people as his advisors when they weren't. They weren't his advisors, but he put a picture of them on the thing, I told you. And he got that institutional money. And now, because Tezos is being threatened to being sued in these class action lawsuits, he's saying he is giving back everybody their money from the ICO, which basically admits to everyone that what he did was wrong. He tried to post advisors' pictures up there. Oh, for sure, Jamal J, we got you, man, for sure. I got you. We saw the email yesterday, so we're going to get to you. But people like Tapscott are now trying to give people money back and saying, well, no, I made a mistake. It's like, no, you didn't make a mistake. You tried to scam people out of money. You put pictures of notable people in the crypto industry on your website to try to sell an ICO. You sold it. You made millions of dollars. And now you want to give everybody their money back because you're finding out there might be penalties for scamming people, which there are. Very interesting to see, but the takeaway from that story, well, I want you all to understand, I know his dad definitely won't be happy. He's like, man, you messed up the family name. But seriously, the takeaway from that story is that, I told you, LinkedIn is already contaminating people. It's people who, professional, whatever, there are professionals who are now putting their reputation at stake. And not even putting it at stake, they're throwing it away. They're throwing away their reputation for their payday. Some of these people are 40-something, 50, 60, whatever. And they're literally like, you know what? I don't care what people think about me. I am going to throw my reputation away, my credibility away. I'm going to scam and hustle a lot of people out of their money for an ICO ideal, and I'm going to move to faraway land. And that's what's happening. This dude just got caught. It's very dumb on his part. Like I said, I mean, dude, come for money. You could have just did it the right way. You could have had an actual product. But the point is, these scams are real out there, people. Be aware. And the last thing I want to leave it on before I get to the free Bitcoin. So be ready. We're talking about SegWit and all that, and all this drama that's going on. This is an attack on Bitcoin. I do agree. If you look at that link I just sent out, all those those are companies on there. Those are companies, people. It's businesses and miners, people who make money from the crypto industry, not necessarily from Bitcoin itself, just from the industry and the way it works. So, I'm with the developers. I'm with Core because they're doing it for free, basically. I mean, some of the developers are even broke right now. They don't have money, but they're working on Bitcoin. So to me, that's saying, okay, I have a group over here who's working on Bitcoin for free. All of their work is open source. We can all go review it. We can see it. And then I have this other group over here who made a backroom deal. Even whether it helps Bitcoin or not, they made a backroom deal with other businesses to advance what they have going on. They thought about themselves first, not about Bitcoin. And then on top of it, the main developer, Jeff Garzik, or whatever his name is, Jeff, he's doing an ICO right now at the same time as SegWit 2X. And he's supposed to be the main developer on it. So again, it's just they don't have all their stuff straight. And they don't have consensus from users like you and I. So I'm with Core on that. With that, you all should be aware, though, this attack isn't going to end as soon as SegWit 2X is over. It's not going to go down like that. If anything, and like I said, Panda pointed this out. I understand why. I saw some other people say it. They're saying after SegWit 2X, prepare for very slow blocks and very high fees. For people who aren't holding, for people who actively trade or go in and off the exchange, prepare for slow blocks and high fees because they're basically going to try to what's the word for it? I can't think of the correct word. They're basically going to try to do like a DDoS attack on network. They're going to make sure all the miners only mine SegWit 2X. They're going to make Bitcoin impossible to use because in their head they think that if for 2 or 3 days of bad news, everybody would just automatically switch over to SegWit or to the 2X coin. I don't think that's going to happen. I know we're selling ours and we're just going to take that money and run. I know a lot of other traders are doing the same thing, but just so you're aware, so it's not going to happen out the blue and you say, wait, what's going on with Bitcoin? Why is it not working? There's going to be high fees and there are going to be slow blocks, and that's because it's a concerted effort to take it down. Like the Vatican saying is being used to traffic humans now, like cash hasn't been used the last however many years. Other than that, people, that's all I really have. I'll look at the last couple of things. He said Digibyte. He said Digibyte's moving good. I have a lot of Digibyte, I think, still left. I haven't looked at in a long time. He said, that's me shouting at American greed. All you have to do is trade or invest for the customer's money, not spend. That's it. Trade or invest. Stop spending customers' money. I don't understand why it's so hard. I saw an American Greed episode before. The dude was buying collectible pens. Like, literally, he's buying like $100,000, $200,000 pens. I didn't know they made pens that expensive, but he had a whole collection of pens. And I'm just like, dude, you about to go to prison because you was buying pens? Like, what are you talking about? Forget Jeff. Do not buy crypto with Android apps. Install better than that first. You heard it, people. I haven't done the research on that, but I know it's a lot of scams, so be careful out there. For the free Bitcoin today, I want to know your answer. What do you think the best way to scale Bitcoin is? You don't have to get into all the technical stuff. You all know I'm not like that. Basically, just give me, your ideal, your imaginative ideal. What do you think the best way to scale Bitcoin? For those who don't know what scale means, scale is basically, so right now, let's say Bitcoin was made, this isn't true, but let's just say, for example, it was made for only 10,000 users, but everybody found out how much, how their investments have grown. Some people want to trade it, some people want to use it, whatever reason. Now we have 100 or 200,000 people trying to use Bitcoin. And scaling means scaling it up from 10,000 to 100,000 so it can work the same way. So what is the best way to scale Bitcoin? Right now, of course, it's way more than that. Let's say we have millions of people on it, but now it's to the point, it's about to be 10s, 20s, 30 millions of people on it. It's going to be, multi-million. It might be a billion people on it in no time. So what's the best way to scale this network so it won't get congested, clogged up, the fees won't be high, and it's still going lightning fast. You can still send money across seas for low fees. What's the best way to do that? You put your answer in quotes after the video. Of course, put your public address. Tell us why you think that, and we will be sure to announce a winner. tomorrow and to give you that free Bitcoin. Other than that, people, I say prepare for a very interesting week. We're starting it off with the Vatican and going after the Bitcoin. We got SegWit 2X coming up here soon, so expect a lot more craziness. And of course, we're eyeing that price. I know it kind of settled down this morning back to that $7,000 range. Institutional people are going crazy because they bought at 7,400 and they're like, oh my God, I'm losing X amount of my portfolio already. We all know this is normal for Bitcoin. It goes up, it goes down. And honestly, some people are calling the bottom at, I've seen it as low as 5K. I would say 5,800, 5,900, like we saw a few weeks ago when it was 2,900, and what happened next. So it might be a little dip. That's okay. Just hang in there. There's a lot of big news coming up. And people are definitely going to buy back into it before SegWit because they're going to want that 1-for-1. So until next time, have a good one. I think Bitcoin's Day is going to jump on tomorrow. I'll see you all on Wednesday at the new place. And take care. You said you want to see this 5K bottle? Listen, if it hits 5K, I kid you not, I've already been thinking about it. I'm about to sell like all my jewelry and everything. Just like, you know what? Just buy more Bitcoin. I don't need anything else in my life. I just want Bitcoin right now. Hey, have a good one, everybody. Take care.